Nope, that's not what I want to do. All right, so this is an article from variety.com, and it's written by Andrew Barker. It's an interview with Sean Combs, also known as Puff Daddy. And it says, feature, Sean Combs slams industry's lack of investment in black enterprise, previews next moves. Here's the thing about breaking down an article like this. There's a lot that's said just in that one small section, right? And what it says in this one small section is actually a huge reason. It's actually a big part of what the problem is. And so let's just break it down. First of all, Sean Combs slams industry's lack of investment in black enterprise, previews next move. Now, there are a couple of presuppositions in this. One is that it's the responsibility of industry to make investment in black enterprise. I don't know why blacks can't do this themselves, but I digress. And two, the assumption is that this is somehow wrong. But we'll go through that. So, sitting in the room of his European-style villa in Beverly Hills, Sean Diddy Combs is eager to speak about an entire galaxy of issues. He wants to talk about the Four, which is a competition. I've seen some clips on YouTube. It's him, DJ Khaled, and that one chick. I don't know what that chick's name. Let me see what her name is. I don't follow celebrities, so I don't know. I don't know who most of these people are. Let me see. Who is this chick? Okay, her name is Meghan Trainor. I've never heard of her before. She's born in 93. I was born in 84. She's only 24. Yeah, I have no idea who exactly she is. But okay, so it's Meghan Trainor. Holy fuck, I cut my leg. God damn, how'd that happen? All right, yeah, so Meghan Trainor, Sean Combs, and DJ Khaled. That's the Four. And let me continue on here. The Fox singing competition show bearing his imprimatur. I'm going to have to look that word up because I don't like not knowing what words mean. Imprimatur? What does that mean? Now, an official license by the Roman Catholic Church to print an ecclesiastical or religious book, a person's acceptance or guarantee that something is of a good standard. Okay, the original LP enjoyed the imprimatur of the composer, enjoyed the acceptance of the composer. Okay, I get that means now. Bearing his imprimatur as both producer and star judge, he's antsy to delve into the past and future of Bad Boy Records, the hip-hop and R&B label that he founded and built into a game-changing powerhouse back when he was the world's flashiest 20-something A&R man. He wants to discuss his various business ventures, which span everything from fashion to spirits to bottled water to cable network Revolt TV. Yeah, I've never heard of that either. So is it Revolt TV? What is this? Revolt TV. Yeah, I never heard of this. Channel, May 8th, 2018, Sean Combs, Revolt Media and TV lays off 1/3 of staff, is attempting to downsize in an effort to reallocate resources and expand the scope of his content production operations. So you're going to lay off people and expand your operations at the same time. All right. So, where was I at? He wants to discuss his various business ventures, yada, 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 but at the forefront of his mind and fueling his passion are the hot-button topics of race and the central paradox of modern African-American enterprise, in which Black popular culture is as ubiquitous as ever, yet so many old obstacles to Black financial autonomy remain in place. There are some obstacles to Black financial autonomy. However, they don't have anything to do with anybody else other than Black people. At 48, Combs, who for 2 decades has been one of Black America's most visible and successful business figure and has been dubbed the richest musician for several years running, is trying to take stock of what his accomplishments mean and what the culture that enabled his success still has to overcome. I can tell you what they have to overcome, but I'll finish the article first and we'll do the breakdown. Here we go. You have these record companies that are making so much money off our culture, our art form, but they aren't investing or even believing in us. This is an incredibly vague blanket statement. No one's making money off the culture and off the art form because money to be made has to be created. So these people have to create the value. There are cultures and there are cultural and facets of other cultures that blacks adopt, but no one goes around, don't go around saying, we're making money off them or something like that. So, I mean, I don't think it just doesn't sound very well thought out. But he's saying like investing or believing. It's like, why is it somebody else's responsibility to invest and believe in you? Like, and here's a guy who has a lot of money. And so this should be, I'm sure he's smart and he has a lot of money. Like, so you would think that he would understand that you have to do it yourself, but I guess not. It says Combs of hip hop's commercial dominance, especially through streaming. For all the billions of dollars that these black executives have been able to make them, there's still hesitation to put them in top level positions. They'll go and they'll recruit cats from overseas, he continues. It makes sense to give executives of color a chance and embrace the evolution instead of it being that we can only make it to president, senior VP. There's no black CEO of a major record company. That's just as bad as the fact that there are no black majority owners in the NFL. That's what really motivates me. I very much doubt there's some reason that's stopping there from being more black CEOs other than the fact that this black people don't want to be CEOs. Like, there's nothing stopping anybody except themselves. And that there are no black majority owners in the NFL, like, that's nobody's fucking fault. Like, there's no black major seat. Like, but why does it fucking matter if they're black or not? I'm just confused. That's what really motivates me. Man, this guy's motivation is in the wrong place. Combs is unsparing about the music business landscape in which he came of age. There was segregation as well as blatant racism, and there still is. It's racism never going to go away. And it doesn't matter anyway because nobody can stop you from achieving your convictions based on them thinking there's something wrong with you because of your color. And the film business, baby steps towards inclusion, baby steps. Black Panther was a cruel experiment, he maintains, because we live in 2018, and it's the first time the film industry gave us a fair playing field on a worldwide blockbuster and the hundreds of $1 millions it takes to make it. So if they had never made it, he wouldn't be able to bitch about it being a cruel experiment. So instead of celebrating it as a major achievement and embracing it and seeing what can come of it, he just starts to fucking complain about it. For Combs, harnessing the means of production is the only way forward. The people who have the means of production are the owners. If you want to produce something, you better fucking get to owning, and you have to do that with savings. Because when you need money for a business, the money has to come. You have to borrow the money, or does it come from savings? Even if you borrow the money that you borrow is somebody else's savings. I mean, this guy, I can't believe he's this fucking clueless. For Combs, harnessing the means of production is the only way forward and the organizing principle of his various businesses. And besides, if he thinks that more black people should be investing, he should take his own fucking money and do it instead of calling for other people to do it. Oh, listen to this. Oh, this is great. We, because it's just one big rat fucking huge collective, right? We only get 5% of the venture capital invested in things that are black-owned. Black-owned businesses, black-owned ideas. That's a fucking first. Black-owned IP says you can't do anything without that money, without resources. And when we do get the resources, we over-deliver. When Adidas invests in Kanye and it's done properly, you have the right result. It has nothing to do with Kanye being black. He's talented. When Live Nation invests in artists and puts them in arenas the same way you two should be, you have the right results. The market dictates what's popular. If black artists aren't packing arenas like you two, it's just because nobody wants to see them. And there are plenty of them that do. Black Panther, black-ish fashion. What the fuck does that even mean? It's all about access. If you're blocked out of the resources, you can't compete. And that's my whole thing, to be able to come and to compete. I don't know. This is just like a poorly veiled attempt to make excuses as to why black people can't get ahead in life. It really does. And I mean, yeah, I think he's just trying to fucking win social brownie points. Combs have given himself new sobriquets. Man, I gotta figure out what that means now. Sobriquet. All right, fucking. Sobriquets. What does that mean? A person's nickname. Okay. Combs has given himself new nicknames almost as often as he's launched new businesses. with Puff Daddy, Puffy, Diddy, and Love, I've never heard of that one, being only a few of his past and present aliases. One thing that's remained consistent, however, is his preternatural talent for working the angles. Madonna and U2 manager Guy Oseary first met Combs at the launch party for Bad Boy's debut artist, the late Craig Mack. Oh man, I remember Craig Mack back in the mid-90s. Oseary notes that Combs' outsized ambitions and knack for making offers in the least refusable manner possible were obvious from the start. That's the key to success. People have to, those are what you call soft skills that you learn. It has nothing to do with your color. From day one, he was an entrepreneur, he says. He was always hustling, always on a mission. That's the key, not to ask somebody to do something. So the way he made it is the way that you do it, but he's complaining that somebody's not giving somebody anything. From day one, he's an entrepreneur, he says. He was always hustling, always on a mission. Oseary remembers getting a call from Combs in 2003 when he was training to run in the New York City Marathon, through which Combs raised $2 million for New York public schools and children's charities. I picked up the phone and he said, "Hey, guy, how much are you going to give to support my marathon? And by the way, we're filming this." Oseary laughs. He's on the other end with the camera. Minutes later, Oseary got a ring from Chris Rock, who revealed that Combs had made him a similar call and convinced him to match Oseary's pledge without telling him the amount. But Combs certainly presents as an older, wiser version of the wrecking ball force of nature he was in Bad Boy's heyday. As passionate as he might get, he exudes a combination of focus and calm in conversation, and he's taken to espousing a philosophy of we, not me. Last year, he appointed longtime staffer Dia Sims, who started as his assistant in 2005, as president of Comb Enterprises and his 200-plus employees across multiple brands. The first time day-to-day business of his empire has been overseen by anyone not named Sean Combs. As Sims' first order of business, she sought to make the company a hater-free, no-asshole zone. In an interview, she tells Variety of her boss, "As long as I've been here, he's been enormously focused in being the best man he can be and also the best brand. Forgive my rhyme, but it's not accidental and it's not a cliche." Fergie, who serves as host of The Four alongside judges Combs, DJ Khaled, and Meghan Trainor, notes, "He comes to you like a coach. And I'm not saying he's sweet as pie." Oh, fuck, what is that? Oh, it's the condensation from my lemonade falling on my foot. I thought the dog was pissing on me for a second. Fergie, what was the fucking band she was in? I think it's Black Eyed Peas. I think. I think it's Black Eyed Peas. "I'm not saying he's sweet as pie. He commands your attention, and he's a presence. And sometimes that's not all saccharine and sweetener. You've got to be tough, but you've also got to be tough love. And it's interesting to watch as he switches from one to the next." While the structure of The Four doesn't diverge much from that of predecessors American Idol and The Voice, fresh-faced hopefuls perform and share inspirational stories. Celebrity judges offer extravagant praise or brutal critiques. Audiences vote on winners. Combs' primary demand when setting the show up at Fox was that the full breadth of the pop radio landscape, particularly hip-hop and Latin music, be reflected in the contestants and song selections. "Me and Puff said there wouldn't be a show unless there was hip-hop involved," says Khaled. "We're on the same page with that. One thing I know with Diddy is it's going to be right. If he wasn't here with me, I'd make sure it's right. But since he is here, it's really right." Fox Television Group Chairman and CEO Dana Walden adds, "Sean was a must-have for us because not only is he a superstar and an icon in the music business, but he also has tremendous credibility in artist discovery and development. There's no one better at what he does as he's always looking to break new ground. So this is a perfect fit for him." During the first season of The Four, Republic Records president Charlie Walk served as the first judge, only to step down from both positions after allegations of sexual harassment surfaced. Asked about the scandal, Combs says, "I'm not going to be anybody's judge and jury, but I will say that nobody should feel like they're getting taken advantage of or getting abused when they're just trying to create a livelihood for themselves." He said, "There are a bunch of injustices going on and the same fire and vigor that people have about the Me Too movement. I think it's time that they have that about the way Black America has been treated too." Wait, what? "I think it's time that they have that about the way Black America has been treated too." What the fuck does that even mean? Anyways, in my early days, quote, this is Jimmy Iovine. "In my early days, we would have never sold anything except music. If not for guys like Combs, I never would have even thought about doing something like Beats." The article continues, getting a TV series off the ground is hard work, but Combs is embroiled in an even loftier challenge, an entire cable network, which is really stupid because cable TV is dying and digital is the future. Revolt TV was launched 5 years ago, one of a handful of black-owned cable nets in the country. According to Sims, the network currently boasts a 40 million household reach. Its mission is straightforward, says Combs. The African-American voice is the number one voice being heard and digested by the world. Revolt brings an unapologetic view of that. In other words, it's an embodiment of Chuck D's famous description of hip-hop as the black CNN, back when CNN was respectable. But with the subscription TV business in a cord-cutting, spurred state of turmoil, the launch hasn't been frictionless. The network underwent an executive shuffle over the past year, adding Roma Khanna as CEO and Robin Ladaker Johnson as head of content, and experienced layoffs last month. So let's look up who this Roma. Oh, what the fuck this chick's name is here? What is it called? I want to do some book readings as well. Anyways, Combs says that the platform was built to roll with the punches. I want to be perfectly clear. Revolt is not just a cable television network. That never was the plan, he explains. We were always social by design, multi-platform. People try to put it into boxes, and it's not going to be that. It's going to jump on your phone. It's going to be on all your screens. Linear cable is not the future. The future is in the actual brand being a multi-platform provider of premium content. Combs habitually brings the conversation back to matters of black enterprise and seems particularly haunted by a catastrophic race riot that devastated an Oklahoma community back in 1921. I think a lot about Black Wall Street, he says, referring to the Tulsa neighborhood of Greenwood, where black entrepreneurs once built a robust local economy only to have it all destroyed by a white mob. The black people in this community were thriving, and others were having to look at them thriving because they had their own banks and supermarket. Income was being cultivated, and they were having a lot of success. And so the white mob burned the town, lynched people to send a psychological message, and it worked. The message was, if y'all come together, if you thrive, this is what's going to happen. That's a very long time ago. That sentiment clearly does not exist right now. The main thing holding black people back is just a lack of discipline, a lack of taking accountability for ourselves. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Riding in a car through Culver City, one of the many once affordable LA neighborhoods to recently fall victim to rapid development and rent increases due to the Federal Reserve printing up mega fuck tons of cash, and it's all been going into the stock market and real estate. Combs thinks back on the changes that have taken place in his home neighborhood of Harlem. Gentrification is heartbreaking, says Combs. When I go back to New York, the energy doesn't feel the same. I agree. The nightlife, the excitement, the provocativeness. In Harlem, you still feel that, even though the community has gotten displaced and shrunk. Like, where are the black people at? You can blame the central banks for it. Combs' entrepreneur origin story has been told so many times it's practically calcified into music industry myth. Raised by a single mother in Harlem and Mount Vernon, his father was murdered when Combs was a toddler. The 11-year-old Combs lied about his age to secure a paper route, then took part in a grade school version of a corporate acquisition when he offered other neighborhood kids a cut of his earnings to take over their routes too. Those Harlem routes inform everything Combs went on to accomplish. The guy's a hustler. It's a beautiful place to grow up, he continues. You're empowered by knowing your history. You can envision Malcolm X speaking on 125th, the 20s at the Cotton Club, Langston Hughes, Harry Belafonte, Lorraine Hasbury. There was such a deep sense of culture. When you're born in Harlem, you're taught how to dress nice on $5. You understand presentation, where your sneakers always have to be fresh. And the necessity of dance, we're just natural-born hustlers. Combs attended Howard University, which I think is an HBC. I think Howard University. Okay, yeah. So Howard University is a federally chartered private doctoral university classified as a high research activity institution. Okay, it's a historical black college. I'm saying I want to say I know some people that went to school there. Do you have the black Ebola? I don't know what that means. My first chat though. That sounds my first comment in chat. Coles attended Howard University and blustered his way into an unpaid internship with Andre Harrell's Uptown Records. After rising to an A&R position, shepherding acts like Jodeci and Mary J. Blige to multi-platinum careers, he was fired from Uptown and immediately set up his own label, Bad Boy, through Arista. I wonder if Arista is still called that. With the marquee signing of the notorious B.I.G., Combs played a part of Colonel Tom Parker to the biggest player in the game, helping shape the Brooklyn rapper's image, orchestrating wildly successful raids on the pop chart and inserting himself into artist songs and videos. Biggie was murdered in March 1997, a formative trauma for Combs and the hip-hop community in general, and yet Bad Boy, whose discography swelled to include Mace, Faith Evans, 112, Total, Black Rob, and Combs' project as a solo artist, continued churning out hits at a startling clip. That year, four Bad Boy singles topped the Billboard Hot 100 chart for a combined 22 weeks, and a label-wide tour set a record as the highest-grossing in rap to that point. But Combs was nonetheless a deeply polarizing figure in the late 1990s. To some, he was seen as a shameless self-promoter and purveyor of the materialistic, radio-baiting music that blunted hip-hop's raw, more revolutionary edges. Further risking the tarnishing of his still developing image, Combs seemed to have a penchant for grabbing headlines, an attribute that took a darker turn when he was charged with weapons violation after a New York City nightclub fracas in '99. He was later cleared. By then, however, he was already expanding his empire beyond the fickle limbo of pop music. His first major musical venture, the fashion imprint Sean John, has proved his most influential. While Combs was not the first hip-hop figure to dabble in couture, his imprint aimed far higher than concert merchandise tables, crashing the runaway circuit in Paris, partnering with Estee Lauder, and eventually landing retail real estate in Macy's stores. And unlike contemporaries like Jay-Z's Rocawear or the Wu-Tang Clan's Wu-Wear, the Sean John label has stuck around. So I'm not going to go through the rest of the article, but long story short, and I guess I could probably read some of the comments, and it actually a lot of people in the comments are saying the exact same thing. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not alone in this. Yeah, it's not the responsibility of other people to do that for you. So I think that's all. I got my very first YouTube comment. His name is James Johnson. Thank you, James. Do you have the black Ebola? No, I don't, and I don't know what that is. No, I don't. But thank you for first live comment. So that's the end of the video, and yeah, that's my breakdown. I mean, I think Puff Daddy has good intentions, but the fact of the matter is that it's not the responsibility of anybody except the class of people involved to improve their life. And if black people think that they should own an NFL teams, then they should probably make enough fucking money to buy the team.